Hey friends, this is Reverend Jerry, the People's Priest, aka Father Jerry, and today I am coming to you with your Monday Musings. I recently had a conversation with a friend of mine, and we were talking about relationships and how people interact with each other, especially, around the whole concept of dating and all that kind of stuff. And he is a social worker by training, and he made a really interesting point that made me kind of pause and wonder. And I thought, I told him in our conversations, like, that sounds like a great sermon topic. I'm going to make a note of that. Um, and he said that oftentimes people spend their life looking and chasing for that love story because we've all been conditioned into wanting that. But nobody really spends much time trying to craft a life story. And I think that if we learned to maybe take this little tidbit of wisdom and instead of trying to fall in love with the whole chasing after a love story and instead fall in love with crafting a life that is really rooted in our values, really rooted in the world that we want to see, and the dreams that we want to have. Maybe in that life story, you might eventually stumble into a love story, or a love story could be part of that life story. But the first part of it is you have to learn to fall in love with the life story that's unfolding before you. Because ultimately, at the end of the day, each one of us will leave this realm with one of those, a life story. We might not necessarily have a love story, or we might not necessarily have a love story that's lifelong. But we can always have a life story, a story that carries us through the different highs and lows of our existence. The poet Rumi, who's also a mystic, said that we are all just walking each other home. And if we can hold ourselves to that truth, that ultimately all we're doing with each other is walking each other home, walking each other to that sacred space, that maybe doing that and rooting ourselves in that can allow us to love the life story that we are developing and find eventually that special person or persons who really help to make that life story a more lovable one. So remember, dear friends, that life is short and we do not have much time to gladden the hearts of those who journey with us. So be swift to love, make haste to be kind, and this day and every day, fall in love with your life story.
Monday Musings is a weekly reflection series brought to you by Reverend Jerry Maynard, the People's Priest, and produced by C&G Communications. For a small donation of $25 per month, you can be listed as a podcast sponsor. For more information, please visit revjerrymaynard.org and click on the People's Priest podcast under the Media tab.